Welcome back, everyone. It is the Chevrolet booth, SEMA 2013, and I'm having a great time being surrounded by all these friends and family of the cars that we love so much, including two good friends of mine, Gary Mulder and Big John McKernan. How you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing great.
Man, you know what? Let's start off with you, John. You know what? We have a lot of fun with these vehicles, and I don't think a lot of people realize what goes into building these, what kind of process that goes into. I mean, these are works of art, and you guys are the curators for them. I mean, talk about what it's like to build these. I mean, you have multiple years with Chevrolet. You've been doing this for a long time, and it's something that's a passion. You don't get this job without having a passion for vehicles.
It is essentially a labor of love, and it's pretty much a year-long process. Once we get done here, we're going to start on next year's crop of vehicles. And as you can see, there's a lot of vehicles here. Some of them take a lot more time. Other ones are not as intense. But we work with designers, and we work with the build shops, and we create these masterpieces that the designers actually sketch up. So we take and what they sketch, we actually make into reality. So
Could you put a number on man hours? What goes? I mean, I don't mean to make you do quick math, but I mean we're talking thousands. I know that. I mean, the team is not just you guys; it's hundreds of people underneath you.
Right. Well, from the design side all the way through to the build side, and the support team is immense. It actually goes into the production side of the business, trying to get some of the parts in advance. On like early model releases that we don't have the parts that are actually production, so we have to create those or work with the suppliers along with the build shops, and I'd say it's in the thousands hours. Absolutely. All the way around.
It's got to be. And then there's Gary, my friend from the Hot Rod Power Tour. Oh, am I going to lay into you, my friend?
Oh, okay.
You know you're getting it right here, because I sat in that beautiful when you built that Suburban, I loved it. It was a hit. You took pieces and parts from Chevrolet Performance. You tethered my ability to go out and do huge smoky burnouts in that thing. I held myself back. And then what do? You spend 6 hours in a car with me, not telling me about that Silverado over there. I don't know whether it's you or Fitzpatrick I'm more mad at right now.
Well, you know, it was certainly fun being able to sit there and just see you just trying to pull
You were
that
simmering me like a
out.
steak in a
Absolutely.
pan.
Just teasing you.
That's not fair. That's not fair. I can keep secrets. You and Fitzpatrick, you're on my list now, buddy.
So can I. You found that out.
Talk about your experience with building these cars, because the reality is when you build cars, things sometimes go wrong. And sometimes things need to be fixed, and it's last minute or it's designs that don't work together. Talk about some of the hurdles that you guys have to overcome.
Well, you've always got those unexpected things that crop up, whether it's part shortages or parts that don't work the way you intend them to work. You just have to regroup and be flexible and go with the flow.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to smile, clear entry, move on to the next deal. Let me ask you this, John. When you're putting these things together, I got to ask, has there been one project that's ever caught your eye more than others? I mean, a few years ago we did all the small cars. Last year, obviously, the Copo, that's Jim Campbell's Copo convertible, which I got in trouble for peeking under the little magic curtain one day, and I kept that secret, by the way, Gary. I got Shondor put me on the spot. He brought me in a little room and said, "Don't tell anybody about this car, or we'll literally have to kill you." But has there been one car that for you personally, you've had so many to choose from in your mind that you could say, that was the one that I wish I could have just copied and pasted and put in my own personal garage?
But there's multiple cars. Z28, the Sonic Boom a couple years ago.
That was a very cool car.
The automation, the sound, everything else. The Cheyenne here with all the carbon fiber parts and the Z28 corners. That's a work of art. Definitely.
Yeah, the Cheyenne behind us I've had more people just while I was mulling around, walking and talking to people, say, please let them build that. Please. And that's what we've been telling everybody here in the Chevrolet booth all week. That you guys listen. You listen to the public, all the team, from whether it's the guys who put together the SEMA shows, like you guys, the performance parts guys, Doc, Jamie, all these guys, you're listening. You're
right.
Listening to the public.
Solicit feedback to try and get understanding on what the public really wants. And if there's enough demand, then we might actually bring it into production. Ground effects kit, lowering, other things we can possibly do.
Well, I mean, raise of hands. Who would right now, if you had the money, let's say the price point was perfect. I don't know what it is. Say the price point. If I said raise your hands if you would buy that Cheyenne right now, my hand's going up. All three of us. I mean, it's just one of those things that's the perfect combination. I talked about it with the Z. You mentioned the Z28. That's a race on Sunday, sell on Monday. That's a simple package. You take the smallest truck and you put the biggest motor in it. And for us three performance nuts, that makes everybody happy. Really quickly, Gary, I'm going to put the same question to you because I'm going to dig something out of you you don't want to tell me. I don't know, between John and I, we're a couple big guys, man. We might just have to, put you back here like mafia style and dig something out.
You're going to squeeze me a little bit there, huh?
I will, man. I'll put the squeeze on you.
Every year there's one car that kind of rises to the top. I guess if I could pick one and bring it home, I wouldn't have a garage big enough because every year there's one or two that you just love to put in your own personal garage.
Well, I'm not letting up there.
I know. I mean, last year it would have been the Hot Wheels Camaro, the 67. This year, who could not want that Cheyenne? But on the other hand, the 78 with the crate powertrain system in there, that's just one of those feel-good trucks.
Yeah, and the launch of that and all the stuff that we did on Monday night with Jim and Jim Campbell, our VP, he really did set the stage for guys like us that once we do punch that clock at the end of the day, we have our own little mad scientist things going on in our personal garage. So I can't say enough. Guys, Big John McKernan, and of course Gary Mulder, these guys, give them a round of applause. These are the guys that built these cars here. They're the ones that put their heart and soul into it. And I'm just Dennis Pittsenbarger, lucky enough to be up here on the stage with them. We'll be back in just a moment.